Hey friends, I'm not sure that video worked, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I did, and then we'll catch back up. So I used just a scrap piece of wood. I painted it in the Oreo Cookie Dough by Paint Pixie. Did that on my background. Now I am using my palette knife, when y'all know that's one of my favorite tools, and I'm just taking a little bit of this Crème De Menthe by Paint Pixie and just putting that on the edges and scraping it just a little bit. I got a little bit over here that didn't quite look right, so I've added a little bit more of that Oreo cookie and just fix that. So it's just paint. You can always paint it and fix it. Let's dry that just a little bit. And I'm sorry, my video for some reason did not take on when I started. So this is 1151 Flying Beauties, and these are from Reba Rose Creations. Let me get a little bit more of that paint, and let's put it back right here. A little bit more. I'm sorry that did not record. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. Okay. And then you're going to take whatever's on the back, and you're just going to scrape it right where you need to scrape it. You can always add more. So that is what we have for the chippy look. You can take a big one or a small one. I like the little small one, works well. And then I added my force field and put my print down. Used my sandwich bag just to press it down. And then I put a little bit of my force field on the edges. That's all we did so far. Now this little rose here is the cotton candy. And you see how it has some other colors in it too. So I have added, go ahead and get that off of there. I moved my little bee too when I was noticing that it did not video, and I had to go back. Sometimes that happens. And then I got some paint on there just now from my hands. But you know it's just paint, y'all, and it wipes off. So don't let that bother you. Don't let it just stress you out. It's okay. Just keep going. Keep going. So I did use my little ruler. There's 3 of these in a set, and I did use those. Those are from Amazon, and I can put that number in as well. So let's work on our rose here now. And we're going to take our little brush. I'm going to go ahead and wash that out and keep using it. And we're going to add a little bit of the burgundy color in there. And I have gotten out the red Velvet Cale from Paint Pixie, and that's just a little bit of a burgundy red. We're going to add a little bit of that in places on our rose, just to kind of mimic what we've got in our picture there. Not a lot. I'm just going to kind of just barely touch it in places. Doesn't have to be a perfect match. Just want it to kind of blend in a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of that to it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that and a little bit of that pink that we had left, and I'm going to lighten that just a little bit. I always love to mix paints. And we're going to put a little bit of that in as well, and that's going to kind of blend in some on our rose, but not as bright. Okay, just kind of work you some layers here. You see how it's got both on our print. I'm just going to take a little bit here. There we go. So I like that. And then it's got just a little bit of this color that I just used on the background. So let's put a little bit of that in. I'm just going to barely put a little bit of that in on our flower as well. And then I think I'll paint one of them this color. So I'm just blending that in. It's just got a little bit here and there. Don't want too much. I'm just kind of blending that in. So that's the way you do. Just kind of blend it the way that you want. And then it's got a little bit of our cream puff. A little bit of that color. So I'm going to take a little bit of the cream puff from Paint Pixie. And you see how you've got a little bit of that right in here? We'll put a little bit of that in. Let me wash my brush back out. And I just use the same brush and get a little bit of that, and let's lighten up just a couple places I may have gotten a little bit dark with just a little bit of that in there. So we're just kind of blending that in, okay? Just like that. Now let's paint one of our flowers in that same, it could be a little darker cream if you wanted to. You could add a little bit of brown or another color to this and make it a little bit darker. This one here, we're just going to paint in that cream puff. And then I've got one more rose I want to paint. Let's paint it up. And a little bit of this color that we have right here. Let's do it in that color, but I think I'm going to take it and lighten it just a little bit. So sometimes it may look a little bit dark. Take you a little bit of white, cream, gray, whatever you have, and just kind of lighten that up a little bit. And I think I like that. And then I might go back and add a little bit of the other to the top of it. But I didn't want it so bright. I didn't want it to completely blend into that background. So I'm doing it a little bit lighter, just like that. It's still the same color family, but it's a little bit lighter. Got that all painted up. Now let's take a little bit back of the darker. I'm just going to swirl that in my brush a little bit. I'm just going to go back over it just a little bit. I think we'll dry it up a little bit, and I can do that a little bit better. And then this has a little bit of pink in it because my brush was not completely washed out, and I did that on purpose. So it would kind of blend. Let's get that a little bit. We'll just dry these up. Okay, this one here, I'm going to add a little bit of that lighter to it too. Just kind of want it to blend and not be all one color, okay? And now I'm going to take a little bit better of this. Now, blending is just something that you just do easily. Just take your colors. Doesn't look right, it's just paint. You can paint back over it. So now I've just added a little bit of that dark in to make that blend, okay? Just like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the red velvet cake, and I'm just going to blend that just a little bit here and there. Just a light, faint color in that. Not a lot. And then I'll just kind of put a little bit there in the middle. There we go. So the flowers might not be exactly like you want, but you can always put another color over it. Once you get it on, it's not exactly like you want. Just take a little bit more of your cream puff, tone it back down a little bit if you want to. See how I just toned that back down? But I didn't put a lot of paint. That's all you got to do on that. Let's get these glued on, and we are going to use some Titebond on our flowers and just a tad of hot glue. So these are Pixie Dough, which is a material from Paint Pixie. It's a dough that's like marshmallow cream, and that's how I made these. That is on sale right now from Paint Pixie, and you can get that on her site. I will put my link, and I'll put my discount code. If you buy anything that's regular price, the paint or anything like that, you can get 15% off with my code. It does not go for the sale items, but you can use it on your regular price and save you a little bit of money. Try this paint. I think you'll love it. I love it. It is a mixture of acrylic and chalk paint. And then the pigments in it are made from the earth. So it's a very good paint that does not have a lot in it that causes you any kind of allergy problems. Okay, I'm going to put just a tad of hot glue. We may go back over those flowers, and I may tone them a little bit more as we go along. I might do something a little different. Just a tad of hot glue under that, and those will hold. And that might not be exactly what I want. Once I get going here, I may do a little something different. But I still like it. And you can put a little bit more of your chippiness here if you want to. Totally up to you what you want to do. I do have a little bee. I got a little paint on him. Let's see if I can get a little bit of that paint out. And I'm okay if he has a little bit. We'll just make him work. I got a little bit of that blue in there too. But that's okay. It'll kind of blend in. I'm going to put it right here on the flower, just for an extra little look. And we're going to use our B7000 on that. That's going to work best. That's going to hold it permanently. I'm about to get out of this. And then I'm going to put just a tad of hot glue to hold it right now. So where I didn't put the other glue, just put a little hot glue on there, a little bit right there. We're just going to put it flying into our rose right there. And I think I'll go back with a little bit of some liquid gold in the 24 karat and touch up our bead just a little bit. Put a little bit on our palette. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to take another little brush. Let me find another little one here. And I'm just going to go and touch up where I kind of touched that with that other color. And that's okay because it blends in. There we go. You can always paint these little jewels. If you have those, they paint as well. So that's what we've got so far. Now let's put a little greenery in here. Just a little greenery here and there. Just a little, make that look a little bit better. So I'm just going to take some little pieces that I have here and put those in. Let's put a little bit of this. Okay, that's going to go right in there. Just like that. A little piece of this. And that's just going to give it a whole nother look. A little bit of glue over in here. Let's put a piece of this in there. I think I'll add this greenery. I like this one. There we go. Then just a little piece right there. Just to make it have a little bit more finished look. A little bit of greenery on there. And there we go. How quick and simple was that? I'm going to put a little piece of jute on the back here to hang it. Or I'll put a block for a shelf sitter. I'm thinking I might make a shelf sitter out of mine. So I may just use one of these big blocks and put it on the back. I'll go ahead and paint up the back. Put my little block on there. And when you're doing your block, kind of move it like this. Don't do it straight up and down. It's going to fall forward. You want to bend it back just a little bit on your block. And I think that will be pretty, just simply pretty, just like that. How easy was that? So I'm going to recap just a minute for those that didn't hear me say that part of my video went away. I used a block of scrap wood. I painted that in the Oreo Cookie Dough from Paint Pixie. That's got a little bit of grayish in the background, if you notice. It's kind of a gray-white, kind of a blend of both. And then I took my tool and I used some of the Crème De Menthe. And I took it and just put it on the edges, just on the edges here. And then what was left in my knife or my tool, I just went right across it, just like that, and put what was on the back on there. Then I painted our flowers up to kind of blend with this. I'm going to add a little bit more. Did those. Put a little greenery and then add in my little bee. And that's a quick and simple craft that anybody can do. And I hope that you will enjoy that. And if you'll please give me a thumbs up and a comment, float me a heart, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.